Everybody, happy June 30th, the last day of the month. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, we have a former quarterback from Newtown, and he'll be going to FDU in the fall. His name, Brandon Lombardo. Brandon, it's a pleasure to be able to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Brandon, I think first off, before we kind of get into your time with Newtown, kind of just tell me about the journey of you becoming a football player.
Yeah, so I started in third grade playing flag football. And I started playing quarterback in third grade. And ever since then, I've just been playing quarterback my whole life. And I just love it, being the leader of the team, always having the ball in your hands. So just that's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. So, and I'm excited to keep playing in college.
Now, I don't know if you watch the Colin Cowherd show, which is on Fox Sports, but
Yeah, I have.
You have? Okay, so
Yeah.
he's talked about quite a few times about how he mentions the quarterback face. He talks about how the good-looking kid who was young got all the girls when they were third and fourth grade, and then as they get older. But, when I look at quarterbacks, there's certain guys I'm like, okay, he's got the quarterback face. You have it as well, and I kind of think, have you felt like you've always had the respect of people as you've gone through the ranks as far as being a quarterback?
Yeah, I think the main thing is your play speaks for itself. So if you play good, that's how you gain your respect and stuff like that. And just by being a leader, so that's the main thing.
Now, did you play any other positions besides quarterback?
I played defense a little bit. I played
Okay.
linebacker and safety, but mostly I just played quarterback. That's the main thing I've played since I started tackle football in fifth grade. So that's the main thing, quarterback.
Now, your journey to Newtown, were you familiar with the program? Did you know about the history of the program? Were you someone who kind of looked at what they had before you went to the high school? Tell me about it.
So actually, in the middle of my sophomore year, I transferred to Newtown.
Okay.
I went to a prep school in Pauling, which is my hometown, and I transferred to Newtown. And right away, the first day, I knew that it was just going to be an awesome place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that showed me around on the first day, I could just tell the football team was a real family. Everybody took me in right away, and it was just awesome to be a part of that for my last 2 years of high school.
Was there anything different as far as the adjustment period going from prep to then now what was a public high school?
It was definitely different. The prep school at Trinity Pauling was an all-boys school, and there's probably not even as many kids in the whole prep school as there was in one grade at Newtown.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely an adjustment, but I had no problem with it. All the guys were so awesome. Everybody in Newtown, the teachers, coaches, everybody treated me like I'd been there forever. And honestly, I felt like I was there forever by the way they brought me in.
Now, as far as the talent's concerned, I feel like it's almost comparable because I know prep schools are typically good, and because of where Newtown plays in as far as the conference is concerned, and because they're in Class LL, you guys saw nothing but the best. Am I wrong?
Yeah, so this year we played Shelton, West Haven, Danbury, and then Fairfield Prep. Those were our 4 out-of-conference games, and those were all 4 good teams. Shelton, obviously, and Prep were really good. Those were tight games, and those were probably the two. No, obviously Darien, and then some of the playoff games. But other than that, in the regular season, Shelton and Prep were probably the 2 best teams we played. And I think that's what actually prepared us for the playoffs because we had those big games in the regular season this year.
Now, your senior year, as far as going into that, did you as a group feel like you had something special? Because I know in talking with Pete from Game Time and then just people who went to the game, who followed the team throughout the entire season, they told me that there was they felt like there was an aura, that there was some good juju going on before the season even started. So is there anything that maybe you felt as well?
After our junior year, my whole class, we literally probably 20 minutes after we lost to Greenwich, all were texting in the group chat how we were not going to let that happen to us, and that's not how we're going to end our senior season. And we grinded the whole offseason in the weight room, passing leagues, everything, because we did not want to let that happen. So we knew we had a special group with us. We had 20 senior starters this year. So we were really the whole senior class was really a family, and I definitely, and I'm sure the other guys would say the same thing, that we definitely felt like we had a real chance to win the state championship, and that was our goal.
What part during the season did you guys feel like, because obviously it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to show it and prove it. And throughout the season, I'm sure confidence continued to grow. When did it for you and the team kind of become realistic, like, hey, maybe we have a shot to do something really special here?
I think so. We played Shelton. I think it was week 6 or week 5, and probably that game we went into halftime down 14-10. And I remember when we were going into halftime, we were just all talking, and we were like really calm. And I just knew, I was like, all right, we are a different type of team right now. And it wasn't even a thought in my mind that we were going to lose the game. And I was talking to one of the other players, Jared Dunn, and we were just like, all right, there's no doubt that we're not going to win this game. We're going out right now, and we're going to get the lead and win the game. And that's what we did. And that was definitely a turning point for the season. I think everybody after that game really started to believe, like, all right, we're the team in Double L that could win the championship.
And you not only won that game, but you kept on winning through, and then through the playoffs. I mean, you crushed NFA in the first round, 35-0, and then the second game was a little bit closer against Simsbury. And even the third game as well in the championship. But we'll get into that in a minute. Take me into that Simsbury game, because that was a very hard-fought battle between you and the Trojans.
Yeah, so against Simsbury, it was raining and everything like that, so we definitely had to deal with the elements of the rain. So I remember the first drive, we went out and scored. We had a really good drive. It was probably one of the best drives of our season, the opening drive against Simsbury. It was probably like 10 to 12 plays, and we ended up scoring. And honestly, after that part, our defense was just playing great the whole game. I mean, our defense was awesome this year. So we ended up winning that game 17-0. So that was definitely a hard-fought game, but I definitely think the rain probably played a factor, because we weren't able to throw the ball as much. I think I had like six or 5 passes that game.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that maybe, I'm trying to think how to word this, were you guys prepared? Because I know you guys were prepared each and every week. It shows on the film, but also because of what you did. But did you guys, because I know with the Patriots, I don't know if you're a Patriots fan, but I know that with Bill Belichick, if he knows that it's going to be, let's say, snowy or rainy, since we're talking about that, he somehow finds ways to make sure, like, the ball is always damp, that the players are always conditioned to where they're prepared for that. Was that the same with you guys?
That game, actually, Coach Patterson had one of his friends on the sideline, and he had a bag of balls in a garbage bag, and he was continuing to put new balls on the field and everything like that, so the ball just could be the best it could. So that's probably the main thing we did. And then, obviously, we had a great offensive line this year, so we were able to run the ball. And then, actually, I think it was the last drive when I threw a touchdown to Riley Ward, we were running the ball all game, and then we ended up running a bootleg, and that definitely set it up with our run game the whole game.
And you beat Simsbury, you get to the championship, and now it's Darien, one of the top programs in Connecticut. Just kind of take me into that day. Did you feel like, because again, I go back to people who I talked to about that championship game. They said there was something they felt about that game that was different before the game even started. Did you or the players have that same feeling?
Yeah, that game, I mean, it was definitely going into the game. Obviously, the state championship, everybody is all hyped up for that already, but just everything about the day. We had a send-off before we even went to the game, where families and friends and everything came to the school and sent us off. And you could just feel it on the way there to the game, like it's something special that's about to happen. Like, we haven't been in the state championship. I think it was the last time we won the state championship was 1992. So it was been a while. So we just knew it was a special day, and we had to come out strong for our town.
And the conditions, like Simsbury, were not great. It was foggy, it was crappy, it was rainy, it was everything. But to your credit, your defense kept you in the game. Darien could not really do much, and they had opportunities to be able to kind of put the knife in the coffin and end Newtown, but they didn't. And as the game progressed, did you guys feel like hey, we're still in this game. We may not have a lot of points on the board, but as you saw and what happened in the game, we're just one or two plays from really being able to make something special happen.
Yeah, so, I mean, all throughout that game, it was a hard-fought game. So, I mean, both defenses were awesome. Darienne's defense was really good, and then our defense was unbelievable. Like I said before, I mean, we shut out NFA, shut out Simsbury. Then Darien only scored 7 points. So to give up 7 points in 3 games in the playoffs is unbelievable. So we just knew throughout the game. I mean, we've been in that, like I said before, we've been in that situation against Shelton. We were down, I think against Prep, we were down 7-0. So, I mean, there was points throughout the year where we were down. So we knew going into this moment that, also West Haven too, we knew going into this moment that we were going to be able to come through.
And as the pass was thrown, the catch was made, and the game ended, just kind of like, was it like a ball of emotions? Was it like was it happiness, sadness? I mean, just kind of take me into that, because watching the video, I feel like doesn't do justice, because there's so many emotions going with the players, the coaches, you know, everything that went into that day itself. Kind of just take me into that, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, that last play, I mean, we called a timeout before the play, and we set everything up. So, I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, just being there was just a crazy moment. Like a walk-off in the state championship, so that was crazy. And, I mean, afterwards, I mean, I'm sure everybody knew. I mean, it was just crazy. The whole town was there. I mean, I remember just running onto the field when we were all coming out. I mean, when we were seeing our whole town there, I mean, we had so many people there. It was unbelievable. The whole stands were packed. So, I mean, just everybody running onto the field, our whole student section and seeing your family after the games. I mean, it was just unbelievable. You just can't forget that.
I know it's a memory that you'll never forget. And I mean, even after the game, I mean, you guys were rock stars for the next 2 weeks. You were on Sunday Night Football. You also, I think, had something with ESPN as well. I mean, you guys were all over the news outlets for at least, I think, a week or two. So that must have been, again, another part of your life that you'll never forget with those young men.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are memories all of us won't forget. I mean, it was awesome. Just looking back on that in 20 years, we'll just remember that.
Was there anything in particular, because I've never been to the set for Sunday Night Football, did you talk to Tony Dungy, or did you speak to, what's his name, the guy that used to play for the Patriots, who's on there? You know what I'm talking about?
Rod Woodson, right?
Oh,
I think so.
Is it Harrison?
Yeah, Harris, yeah.
Did you speak with him or anything?
Yeah, we got to, meet them. It was real quick, though, because everybody was, shaking his hand and, introducing themselves. So it was real quick, but, I mean, it was just really cool just to be on their set and everything like that. That was just awesome. A great experience.
Did Tony Dungy give a speech to the team, or did anybody speak to the team?
All of them talked to us and congratulated us and all of that. So, I mean, they definitely talked to us and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome, man. I mean, again, I'm jealous that you got to that. I've always wanted to go on the Sunday Night Football set, man. But, Lombardo, I really do appreciate you coming on. I have you for about one more minute. I just want to ask you, FDU, why did you choose that program?
Yeah, so actually one of the coaches, Coach Murphy, actually coached at Newtown. He was the coach of the team that won the last state championship in 1992.
Full circle.
Yep, it's crazy. And then they actually had a new head coach too, Coach Robertson, who's a great coach. And I just was sold on them when they came to the school. It was their defensive coordinator, their new head coach, Coach Robertson, and then Coach Murphy, and they all three sat down with me and then one other player, and just seeing all three coaches come in, they really sold me on the team, and their offense is just awesome. They throw the ball 40 to 45 times a game. What quarterback wouldn't want to be a part of that? Oh,
yeah, the air raid offense, spread, just chuck it. I like to call it chuck it and duck it. Chuck it and then just get out of the way, because you're not going to get a lot of protection.
Yeah.
Because you got all your guys kind of running, because you have extra weapons out there, But
so I'm really excited for that. We've been having team meetings. We had one again at 7 o'clock this morning, a QB meeting. So, I mean, I'm in football mode right now. I'm ready to go. I can't wait for camp. I hope everything starts on time, and I just can't wait for that.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and hopefully you can come on the show next time, man.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. Anytime. Just let me know.
That'll wrap things up in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe, and remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent, and I'm here to find each and every one of them. Have a safe day, everyone.